Okay, in 4.2 we're going to be graphing quadratic equations again, but in this section the equations will be given to us in vertex or intercept form. That'd be opposed to standard form. Standard form is what we saw in 4.1. And then in this section also we'll be able to take things in vertex and intercept form and write them in standard form. Okay, so really it's a quick introduction to what each of these means. And I'll explain it a little more after we work out some sample problems in the next video. But vertex form looks like this. Okay, so we'll have a number here. It might have a number here multiplied by a parentheses. Inside the parentheses we'll see x minus something we'll call h. And then after we've done all this we'll add k. Okay. So what we know about vertex form is that the vertex is at h comma k. The key here when you go to find the vertex in vertex form is that it's h. Okay? H is the part that trips people up most often. H is the number that's being subtracted from x. Okay, so that is going to be a slightly tricky thing when you have x plus some number. Right? How do we do a minus when it's actually plus? So we'll talk about that in the sample problems. And that is about it, except in the book it just also says, well, if your vertex is at hk, so let's just draw kind of an arbitrary graph here, and let's say we go over this much, that'll be h, and then we'll come up this much, that'll be k, right? They're saying that there's this line of symmetry at x equals h, but that's kind of obvious because the vertex is here. We know the line of symmetry goes right through the vertex, so it must be this vertical line. Remember, x equals is a vertical line. This vertical line through whatever h is, whether h is 2 or 3 or even a negative number or whatever. So it's another thing that we can say about vertex form. And lastly, whether it opens up or opens down depends on a. If a is bigger than 1, or is bigger than 0, sorry, if a is bigger than 0, then it opens up. And if a is less than 0, then it opens down. Okay, so we're going to use all those as we go to actually graph these. Okay, let's talk about intercept form. Intercept form looks like this. We'll have perhaps a scalar multiple out here on the outside. We'll have x minus p times x minus q. Okay, and we will, all things in intercept form have to look like this. No plus or minus anything on the outside here. Okay, the thing about this is we're going to find points at p comma 0 and q comma 0. Or in other words, we are going to see points on the x-axis at x equals p and x equals q. Okay, so we're going to have two x-intercepts there, and to find the axis of symmetry, so I'll just say that these 2 points are on the graph. Right. And then to find the axis of symmetry, we know that there's these 2 points. Say here is P and here is Q. Then we know right in the middle is going to be where the vertex is, because we know that parabolas are symmetrical. So right through the middle will be our line of symmetry, and our vertex is going to be somewhere on this line of symmetry. So to find this line of symmetry, it's going to be, x equals something, because this line of symmetry is a vertical line and x equals is a vertical line. Well, how are we going to find where that line is? It's smack in the middle of p and q, and if you're looking for a number that's right in the middle of two numbers, the numbers that right in the middle of p and q, that would be p plus q over 2, right? And so that p plus q over 2, that'll be the location of the line of symmetry. Lastly, we're going to look at rewriting both of these forms in standard form, just taking these and writing them in this form, ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay? We'll look at these two things in a little bit more detail. We'll work out some examples so you know how to do it, and then we'll look at why. Why is really important. You can work through math and know how, and just concentrate on how do I do this? What's the formula? How do I just get it done? How do I get the right answer? But why, if you understand why, then it makes the how a lot easier, because the how just makes sense. So that's my plug for why, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.